Hi guys, and welcome back to another podcast.
Hello, I'm going to let Stuart do a lot of the talking today because I've got a cold coming on, I've got a bit of a sore throat. But today we're going to talk about festivals.
Anybody who is kind of in the van life will have heard of all the different festivals that go up and down the whole entire of the UK, because there is a lot of them. But we thought we would give you a quick rundown of, I suppose, some of our favourites and some that we hope to get to at some point.
Yeah, they seem to be growing this year, don't they? There seem to be more and more. We went to a few last year. It's a great way of meeting people, like-minded people.
It's a brilliant way of meeting people. We have met so many amazing people through festivals who have become really good friends.
Yeah, because everybody's there for the same reason. You're there because you either live in a van or you go out in your van, enjoying holidays in your camper van or motorhome. So
I think one of the biggest points for us for the festival side of things is because you're living in a van all the time and you're very stuck to yourself, aren't you? You are kind of like restricted in what you can and can't do because you're in a van. You don't really have any social life. Well, we don't. I don't know, a lot of other people might, but we don't. We tend to keep ourselves to ourselves. So when it comes to festivals, it's nice because you're getting in amongst people, you're getting to meet new people, you're getting to meet some fans, some subscribers.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people stay at pubs, don't they? And they'll have an overnight at a pub, so I'm guessing they're getting to see people then. We don't tend to do that, but you know, a pub thing isn't the same as the festival. There's so much more to the festival, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're also saying at a pub, so yeah, you get to meet ordinary people, but you're not meeting other van lifers.
No.
These sorts of festivals are brilliant because you are meeting other people who do exactly the same thing as you. So it's quite nice because you can go to these things, and if you have problems with your van, you are pretty much 9 times out of 10 guaranteed somebody else at that festival has had the same issue with you. Yeah. You're not going to be the only one there with that only type of van. Even if it's a convert, you will find other people who have got the similar sort of van to you who have done what you're doing.
Yes, you've got all that knowledge to draw on. But there are other things as well. I mean, I love going because of the music aspect. So they have some great bands on, don't they?
Yeah, for me it's one of them things where it's quite good because every festival tends to have a different sort of thing going on. So we went last year to Vanlife. We love Vanlife Festival at the Hall. This is out, we've been twice. Last year was brilliant because they had a bit of everything for everybody. So they had Spice Girls for me, which but then they also had Queen for you,
yeah.
And then ABBA, which the pair of us loved. So it kind of went across the board. You do have some that fixate more on actual festival things. So you have ones where they're a bit more livelier, I'll put livelier, but a bit more rave, sort of Ibiza sort of thing. Then you have ones which are more classic.
Yeah. I know this year coming up, there's one of the festivals has got an 80s and 90s weekend.
They have.
There's another festival which is more traditional local bands and acoustic sets. So there's something for everybody music-wise, and I think you've just got to pick the right one, haven't you, that's going to suit.
For me, do you know what the big thing is about festivals?
Yeah.
Shopping.
Yes. Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? Because they all have trade stores or a trade village with lots of stores selling everything from...
I like it. For me, I think it's one of them things where I've always been sort of an arty crafty person, and I love these festivals because 9 times out of 10 the stalls are either somebody individual who sat, we've seen people carving spoons and mushrooms. There's Purple Haze who has her own tie-dye business. There was just so many unique individual stalls rather than it being like a multi-chain of shops. It is just little tiny stalls of local people, van life people who are just trying to make an income. And that for me is what I love. I love that individuality of knowing I'm getting something unique that's been handcrafted.
We've seen people making hats, belts, t-shirts.
Everything.
There was somebody selling traditional school puddings and custard, rugs, mats, car
everything.
parts, everything. It's not just van stuff, is it? It's all sorts of things.
It's just nice because it's, like I've said, because it is, you can see it's ordinary people. It's not like you're going to these things and it's like you're going to a well-known place and it's just somebody working there. The people that are actually on these stores are the people who created these products or created the companies. And that for me is really nice because I get to know the individuals and know that, I might not be spending it a lot, but I'm spending it with somebody who I know actually appreciate me
Yeah.
purchasing something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is another nice thing about festivals. The other really, really, really nice thing about festivals, food. Some of the food we've had at festivals.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Because again, you get people coming in and doing all sorts of things: noodle bars, burgers, Chinese. What?
No, nothing's going to beat the donuts. Overland Festival, the donuts.
The donut.
I had this donut platter, and it was, you could pick they had a combination, but I got Kinder Bueno donuts, and they were smothered in all these chocolate sauces and chunky bits, and oh my god, they were amazing. I dream about these donuts.
Yeah, I've forgotten about that, but yeah, you're right. I mean, there's a great choice of food, isn't there? I mean, a lot of people will cook in their own vans, but it's nice to go out and do something different.
It is, and another thing as well, we went to Slumber on the Humber, which unfortunately I don't think is running this year,
No,
is
it's
it?
not.
I think that's kind of unfortunately done. But last year when we were there, we had a breakfast sausage.
Oh, oh my goodness, they were amazing, weren't they?
It was the nicest breakfast I think we've ever had.
It was
like a big German sausage.
Yeah.
But we had like a German sausage, and it was covered in bacon.
Bacon bits, was it?
Yep, and then it had
and onions for some strange
onions on
reason.
it.
Yeah.
It had brown sauce, cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just
it was
immense.
so good. I also had pie, peas and mashed, didn't I, from
You
another
did.
store, which was quite reasonably priced. I was quite surprised. That was enjoyable as well.
You had that, and I had a Yorkshire pudding wrap.
Yeah, and of course these places always have a bar, so there's plenty of drink flowing as well.
Another nice thing, so you mentioned bar there is at Slumber on the Humber, we actually knew who the barman was. It was his brand new business, and he was actually a drayman of ours when we had a pub.
Yeah,
So it was quite nice that you're getting to. It's just such a community thing. I think that's what really gets to me. It's like, I know I can go to these, and I know I'm going to know at least 5 or 6 people that are there that we've met at other festivals.
yeah. As I say, it's a great way of meeting people, meeting up with people that you already know and friends. The festivals differ, don't they? Because there are some that feel very intimate and very social, and then there are others which are a lot bigger, and they've got the trade village, and they've got big music acts on, and there's a lot of people there, so lots to go at. And while we mention these experts and people that love doing what they do, and a lot of them will want to show their vans, so there's always like a show area. People will take their camper vans that they've converted, double-decker buses, overland vehicles. We've seen some amazing vehicles, haven't we?
We have,
People have put time, effort, and lots of money into building their perfect van, and they love to exhibit them, which you can go and have a look at as well.
Another nice thing about that as well is we've had so many conversations with all these different people who have converted and done all these different things to their vans, and they are quite happy to sit and talk to you. They will go through everything in detail of how they did something, because some of the ideas we've got just blows your mind, doesn't it? They're so creative, people.
And they're all different, aren't they? There's no two vans the same.
No.
I mean, that's the nice thing. And when they do, I mean, on these areas where they show their vans, there are old ones, there are new ones. There's
They have
just such a
categories, don't
variety.
they? So that a lot of places, especially like Vanlife Fest, and they'll actually have a category. So different times during the day, they'll bring different vehicles out. So if there's certain things, like if you're into double-decker buses, have like 6 in the bus there, they always tend to have theirs out there. We've had ones where they've been overlanders. We've seen ones where they've had showers at the front door.
Yeah,
like the front door step into a shower was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah. There's some amazing ideas.
There is.
And I mean, that's great to go and have a look at as well, isn't it? So meeting people, shopping, music, having a look at what other people have done with their vans. There's just so much.
There is. It's one of them things where you're kind of weighed up, because some of them are a little bit on the pricier side, but then when you work out what you're actually getting for your money, they kind of pay for themselves, some of them, because if you're into your music, if you're into thinking, actually I haven't seen anybody in a while and I want to meet up with everybody and have a good weekend, then it kind of isn't too bad priced, is it?
It's not. I think they're moderately priced, aren't they? I wouldn't say they're expensive, overly expensive, but they're not cheap. It's not like a £10 a night in a thing. But you're getting more than a campsite. You're getting entertainment. You're getting other like-minded people. It's a get-together. There's bars. like we've said, this food stalls. So you're getting something for your money as
Yes.
well as being able to camp there for the weekend.
Yes, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Andrew, so if people are wanting to actually find where these festivals are you going to do something about that?
Yeah, if you go to our website, you'll find that there's a new section, festivals, and we've got a little dinky map showing all the festivals throughout the year placed on the map so you can see where they are, what dates they are, with links to the websites to book your tickets.
Perfect, and that will be in the description down below. Okay, so last year we attended 3 festivals?
Yeah, which was 2 more than we managed the year before. We only did the one, didn't we, the first year. It was one of the first things that we did.
It was the first thing we did.
We went to Vanlife Fest at Malton. I don't even know how that came about, but we ended up going with some friends, and it was such a good time, wasn't it?
It was. I have to say, I think it's because it was our first, it kind of holds a little bit of a special place in our heart.
Yeah.
So we attended last year. Last year's, the first year, sorry, it wasn't last year, it was the year before. Oh, how time flies. So back in 2023 we attended Vanlife Festival, and it was over the King's coronation.
It was.
So we actually had a couple of days extra, didn't we? So it kind of had a really nice impact because it was over the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and then you left the Monday
morning. Yeah.
It kind of dragged it out a little bit, so it felt a bit better having that expended period of time. So yeah, that was really, really nice, and I think it was just such a brilliant vibe.
It was the first one that we booked for last year, wasn't it? We wanted to go back. My favourite band, Supersonic Queen, were on again, and it was like, yeah, we'll do this again. And then we ended up getting part of the club site for the Auto Trail Owners Club.
We did, yes.
So we were looking after them, and then we got invited to do a talk as well, didn't we?
It was our first ever talk at the Vanlife Fest, yeah. So it was our first one. I was not particularly looking forward to it, but there is actually a video on our first talk. We will link that for you to have a look at because it is massively long and we don't want to blag this video talking about
It'll be linked up there.
Last year's was just perfect for us. They had Spice Girls on, they had ABBA, and then they had Queen.
Yeah.
There was a band that was doing TV and movie adaptations of their songs, which was absolutely brilliant.
It was a good mix, wasn't it?
It was such a good year last year.
So I know this year's music lineup, they've got an Oasis tribute.
Got a bit crazy this year.
Supersonic Queen are back. They've got Badness, which is the Top Madness tribute. Robbie Williams tribute. There's quite a few things on this year. None of them are going to suit you.
I know.
Might be Bon Jovi, maybe, but not your cup of tea.
It isn't. But I think they can't suit everybody.
No, of course you can't.
They've got to have to look where last year. Yes, they did everything that I would enjoy. This year, yep, there may be one or two that I'm not too keen on, but. You can't suit everybody. So Vanlife Fest do a very, very good job at doing a typical festival. Feels very festival-like. It is very, very organised, where everything happens on time, and if you're not there, then you've kind of missed it. But I like that regimental kind of feel to it.
Yeah, it's just well organised. You know, it's backed by a big company, and you would expect it to be. So it's very well organised.
And a bit of exciting news this year.
Yeah.
They have a brand new one happening.
Yeah, this is exciting, isn't it? Because it happens in the middle of September.
It does.
And they've branched out, and it's now another one in Lincolnshire.
It is. So this one is actually called At the Field, is it?
It's called Vanlife Fest at the Park.
At the Park. Field, Park, same thing. So yes, so Vanlife Fest, the original one at Malton, happens on the 20th to the 22nd of June, and that is at Malton.
Yep.
Then their second brand new one is on the 12th to the 14th of September. But everything will be linked below so that you can check it out. Just go to our website, follow the links, and it'll all be there for you. So yes, so have a look at Vanlife Fest if you like your typical festivals. Now we're going to go over to a different type of festival because they are all quite different. This one is Vanlife and Overlander Festival.
They call it Celebration. We went down to Newbury, which is where it is, and we were surprised how different it is. It was very more people and their vans and a celebration of those vans and overlanders, wasn't it? Exactly what it says on the title, to be honest.
For me, it is going to hold a special spot. That's it. Like, anybody who hasn't already heard and doesn't already know, I purely fangirled when I went to this festival, and it was probably one of the nicest, relaxing festivals I think we've been to. So we were invited. We didn't pay for it. We were invited as YouTubers, and we were put in a field with other YouTubers. And I thought, yeah, brilliant, cool. It's just going to be like, just people just like us. And then somebody just turned around and went, oh yeah, you're opposite urban motorhomer. And I kind of looked at them and I was like, are you taking the pee? I followed him for years, like full on fangirled. And then he just pulled up and he was waving and was quite happy. And then that was it. Now me and Darren are besties. So yeah, WhatsApp all the time and I keep in touch with him. But I do have to say, the organisers of this one are Vanlifers. I think that is the big thing about the difference between this one and all the others is Vanlife and Overlanders is run by other Vanlifers. So the people who live in their van who live like us. So they know exactly what you want. They know kind of like what we're not really into.
But you enjoyed it last year because you managed to get a bit of line dancing done.
I did all sorts. Me and Poor Helen, by the end of it, were like knackered.
It was nice, and I think they appreciated the promo video that we did. I thought that was hilarious, wasn't it? So so that's back on again this year, 25th to the 27th of July.
Yes, it's got a bit of a change this year though.
It has got a change this year.
So last year they did use the main building, and it kind of, the problem is with that main building is if it's wet and horrible weather, perfect. But we got absolute glorious sunshine that whole weekend.
Yeah.
So nobody wanted to be inside of a big metal building, did we? Everybody wanted to be outside with all the hippie tents. And
unfortunately, the main stage was inside the building. Of course, when the sun's out, as you say, you don't want to be inside. So it fell a little bit flat. But they're not doing that this year. They've got an outside stage. And the good news for you, Stuart, they've got a Spice Girls tribute on.
I know, and I really, really, really can't wait to attend. It just looks, I just think the difference from that for me is it's very relaxed. It is very much an opportunity to catch up, to have chats with different people. They have a show area as well. They have stalls. I did yoga last year. It was just such a nice relaxing. I think that's their main thing, is it is about a chance for you to relax, for you to meet up with people that you haven't seen in a while and just chill. It's very relaxed sort of atmosphere.
But you said it's more of a van person's
it's a community
meet-up, isn't it?
It feels like it's very much a community van life thing.
Rather than a musical festival or a social thing, it is more van people, and I think you can tell that with the type of vans that are there and the people that are there. This year they're doing an 80s and 90s theme, which I think I'm going to love that.
It sounds perfect for us, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
That is just me and Andrew down to a T. So so that one is on the 25th to the 27th of July.
Yeah.
They do have Spice Girls on. They do have other local acts as well. There was an amazing girl there last year who's a local girl. Yeah. So it is a nice feel, and it is always a longer period, wasn't it? We were there for quite a while, nearly a week I think we were there.
I think you get early bird tickets. We left, I think, because we were part of the YouTubers section.
We arrived a day beforehand and then we left a day after.
I think it's quite relaxed, isn't it? So that's Vanlife and Overlander celebration at Newbury.
Yes, and we would just like to send a quick thank you over to Carl, Helen and Michelle, because it was actually Michelle who actually got us in touch with them. Yeah. But yes, thank you so much for the invite last year, and we can't wait to attend this year.
We'll be back.
We will. So let's move on, and we have what was probably one of my favourites last year, and I'm quite disappointed and a bit heartbroken that it's the end.
Yeah, it's not happening this year, but we'll talk about Slumber on the Humber because it was one of our favourites.
It was.
It was a lovely, relaxed atmosphere. It kind of felt, there were lots of different little areas that you could just go and chill. They got acoustic sets, karaoke tent, and it was lovely. The feel and the vibe was just really, really chilled and relaxed, wasn't it?
Do you know, I can't kind of explain it, but it was in the middle of a wood, so it kind of had that like fairy tale-y, magical-y feeling to it. And because it was in a wood, they kind of had separate areas within this little woodland bit where everything happened, and it wasn't miles away from everywhere else, but it was far enough away that it didn't feel like you could hear what was going on in other areas of the little festival.
It worked quite well, didn't it? Because they got that central building with the bar and a stage in, and then like around the outskirts of it, as you say, you just walked into the forest a little bit, and there was another little cut in, and they got an acoustic tent and all that. And it worked really well. It
was very, very well set out, I have to say. I think it was the fact that it was so nice and relaxed, and it was very chill, but there was always something going on. You could always find something to do, which I think is nice for us, because if we're having a lazy day where we don't want to do too much, you haven't missed like major things going on, because they tend to hold their major things to an evening. Everything else is kind of just spotted around during the day, and then they have, with the acoustic, we had Billy out of Billy and Nikki, he sang.
Yeah.
But what was quite nice is they had them on once or twice. So if you missed them on the morning spot, they had an afternoon spot. Or there was the girl who sang on a morning at one spot that we really, really enjoyed, and then she sang on the night.
That's right.
In the main area.
Yeah.
So it was quite nice, because it was so relaxed.
It was. I can't stress how relaxed it was. I mean, because the others are a little bit hustly, bustly, a little bit. But this was just like so relaxed. It was great.
It was
just what we needed.
amazing.
I think at the
it
time.
was. It was. We got to catch up with a lot of our friends, and Nikki and Billy came, and that's actually where we got to meet two of our closest, who have become two of our closest friends, who are Liz and Steve, who we actually spent Christmas with.
Yeah.
And they're from a van called Dignity. We will tag their channel below to go and give them a check out.
Yeah, it's a shame it's not happening this year. However, the good news is that Mandy, Purple Mandy, as we call her.
Yeah.
I can remember as Purple Mandy. She's part of the organisers of a new one called Humber Camp Fest. It sounds like you'll be right at home there, Stuart.
Oh, thanks.
So Humber Camp Fest is happening at Winterton, which I think, well, it's going to be around the Humber somewhere. I'm not checked it out on the map. That's happening 12th to the 14th of September. I'm hoping we can get to that.
Yeah, so hopefully, with it being from Mandy, who was part of quite a few festivals last year, so let's hope that it's got very much a Southern Run the Humber kind of feel to it, and that we can actually get there, because I think that would be a nice one to actually get a chance to check out.
Yeah, with it being new, and I'm guessing we're going to know people that are going to be there as well, because they would have been to Slumber on the Humber, I would guess. So
yes.
So yeah, check that one out later in September in the year. There are lots of other festivals happening. There's Vanlife at Elvington, where you sit on a runway.
There is. Just there's another one I really, really want to check out, and we will get to it at some point, which is Vanlife Eats,
Yeah.
which I've heard is meant to be amazing, and it's food. Come on, it's food.
So yeah, lots and lots of festivals happening this year. As I said right at the start, it seems that the whole thing seems to be growing, and there's more and more festivals happening. And you can pick and choose the music that you want, the style that you want.
The area, because a lot of them are based all over the UK. You can kind of pick that one's in that area, so I might go to that one, or I'll go to that one, or do what a lot of people do and do follow-on festivals. I think that's what our plan is this year. So Vanlife Fest at Moulton is actually followed on then by Vanlife Fest, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're a couple of weeks apart, so you could head from one to the next.
Yeah.
And then smack bang in the middle, if you just happen to be near Scarborough, around June the 28th, there is the Open Air Theatre has
Human League, Thompson Twins and Blancmange.
And Andrew's going to get a chance to see Andrew. I'm not going to be there, even though it is my birthday. But Andrew's going on, yeah.
Absolutely, I can't miss that chance for the Thompson Twins. Yeah.
So yes, you can always just split them up and have a wander around. And even if you're kind of thinking, well, price-wise is not great, just have a look at maybe one or two through the year.
Yeah, or just the one, just make it just an annual thing, or just try different ones each year.
Yeah.
We highly recommend festivals. It's just a great weekend, it's a great break. Meet other people, do some different things, especially like Stuart said, if you're living in your van, you don't get to see many people all the time, and this is a great way of just doing something different and meeting other people.
I think another really, really nice thing about it is you get to make friends that you can meet up with outside of festivals. Like, we have met so many people in the festivals that now we class as friends that we can message, or we can say, oh, we're in your sort of area, do you fancy meeting up? Because we've met up with quite a few throughout the year that we wouldn't have normally met. So yeah, check them out. Have a look on the link below. Have a look at what different festivals is going around the whole of the UK at the moment. See what's your cup of tea. Have a look at the budget.
And more than likely, you'll bump into us at some point.
You will, and if you don't bump into us, you'll bump into other YouTubers, because I'm guaranteeing you, at every single festival, there is a YouTuber.
Absolutely right.
So yeah, so go out there, have an adventure, and have fun. Thanks for watching another one of our podcasts. We will catch you next week for another podcast, or Tuesday for our ordinary videos, or Sunday for a live, all at 7:30. If you have enjoyed it, please give us a comment and let us know what festivals you attend, and yeah, maybe we'll have a look at attending one of those.
If you've liked the video, please click the thumbs up and give us a like, And don't forget, if you really enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel as well, if you haven't already.
Yes, and that is it from us. We will see you next time. Bye.
Till next Thursday at 7:30.